Indie rock, inspiring women to feel independent, rebellious, and strong. The Surface Indie Rock collection inspires a tough, utilitarian feel, yet feminine, organic vibe. Shapes feature blunt lines, individualized with bold undercutting and deep layers. Indie rock is organically finished with a free spirit. Welcome to Surface. Welcome to Indie Rock. My name is Wayne Grund, founder of Surface. The indie crop is perfect for Mindy. A feeling of individualism, personality, and something that jumps out there and says, I'm confident. To start with the indie crop, we're going to be sectioning it just below the side ridge, all the way around the head, and then work scissor over combing underneath. We're using the Trinity tonic to prep the hair as we cut. I like to control the condition and extremely lightweight that it gives it. You can see where we sectioned below the side ridge all the way around, but then we dipped lightly down by the top of the occipital bone. So we'll start now by coming in scissor over combing this in nice and tight. A couple of the key elements is thumb on the bottom of my surface comb, first finger on top, and I'll use the wide edge to start with. We'll take the surface swivel, very long, clean cut line to our blade, look straight ahead, down very, very, very lightly, thumb underneath, and it's a nice, clean cut line that I'm working with as I work my way across. So now, as I'm cutting that line, you'll see that my thumb is underneath, first finger on top, and always lifting away. And as soon as I've gotten some of the bulk out of the hair, that's when I'm going to start to flutter my scissor just a little bit more. So at first we're just working across, getting that bulk out, and then I'll start really taking a nice fine edge. Thumb on the bottom, first finger on top, really reading my hairline, seeing exactly how it's going to fall. So you can see I've turned the comb now to really work with the fine edge. And here's where the swivel comes in. So I can turn it and really nicely arch around that ear. Working with a zero elevation, a nice, strong, confident feel. In around the ear, I'll hold the ear away and I come in, turn the shear down to nicely clean. And again, the longer shear really gives me control as I'm working. Around the ear, we come in with the comb to the ear, tip it away then because you're using it as a pickup, and a nice clean stroke as we're taking that in really nice and tight. And we scissor over comb that now right with the round of the head. You can see the angle and how the comb tips away from the head to really leave that softness. And I'm always lifting as I'm cutting and lifting as I'm cutting, really getting a very, very nice soft feel to that line. As we move in the back, I don't want to tip the head down too much because it creates that real tight area in the nape. So I'm going to keep it very, very natural. I'm going to work with the zero elevation here. Thumb on the bottom, first finger on top, and come in really nice and tight. On our opposite side, it's very nice to be able to take the swivel, turn it backwards, and be able to come in and really blend that zero elevation. Also in around the ear now is when I'm coming in and just nicely cleaning. I like to turn the swivel backwards and clean the edge off. We've created a very nice taper, a blend, rounded our corner at the top, and now we're going to come in with our Surface blender and just really blend all the edges lightly. The main reason for this is the grow out period. So if you don't lighten the ends with your blender, what can happen at that time is as it grows out a little heavier. So we're going to be able to have a nice, I'm going to say a 5 to 6 week haircut here for Mindy. But if I wouldn't come in and lightly blend just all of these ends very, very lightly, it would come in too heavy and start looking shaggy after the 4 week period already. So it's just lightly working. You'll notice the blender, what I do is I run it. I lightly run it, and the Surface blender's got a razored edge on its tooth, so it's not blunt whatsoever. Now after I've done that, again, as it grows out, I want direction. So in all the ways that I want this to grow out, I'm going to use the Surface razor now to dust. thumb on the bottom, first finger on top, and I'm lightly touching these ends, all taking that hair all in the direction that I want it to move. So just dusting those edges. And little things don't mean a lot, they mean everything. And this is the difference on this haircut that makes it absolutely gorgeous, not only today, but for the next 5 to 6 weeks. So coming in again and just lightly dusting. And for our outer perimeter, I want strength, even though it's zero elevation. So I take the surface razor and I'm creating a blunt yet soft line for my outer perimeter. Taking our disconnect now from the top of the black zone meeting the green, dropping it past the occipital bone, and I'll take the surface razor and just lightly shatter my edge, creating a blunt but yet shattered outer perimeter. And I'm going to work this all the way around. So we'll take it to our opposite side. And this is the existing length that Mindy had for us. So we're really working to it to keep it as long as we possibly can. And now what we'll do is I want these long layers to push forward with direction. So it's important that we have some short pushing long away. So we'll take the hair from our top guide now. We'll lift it up. And my guide becomes the ridge over that black zone meeting my green. So with this now, what we'll do is we'll blend this line forward. And now we'll blend from short to long, using the exact guide where that black zone would meet the green, combing smooth base to ends and shatter that line out. Always cutting the hair in the direction that we want that line to fall. Working all the way across, lifting that hair up, making sure that line falls all in it. You can really see the softness on those ends that the surface razor gives us. If I'm using a shear on the top, it falls too heavy and too blunt. So I can have a real feeling of strength here, but yet softness. Now, the key to really making this look work is to be able to work it both ways and not to make it look like a heavy flap. It needs movement, it needs lift. So here's the difference, I believe, between good and really great on this disconnected indie crop. Is I lift this section up, drop it down, I find the focal point, and I have to stay longer than that. Then what I do is I take the surface razor, put the spine against, and point to the ceiling. So it's very little hair that we take off. And this is what we call an invisible layer. And I'm going to work all the way around, lifting that up, creating that invisible layer. It's cut so light that you can't even see it, but this is the short hair that's going to push the long hair away. And in fact, you can kind of even see it now already, how that lifts that up and moves it. So I'm going to work my way all the way around this outer perimeter, just past that point again, lifting that up. As I get to my back line, we'll take it out, and I have to make a read here. If my hair is very resistant, I may not go any deeper in through the back. But if it's not, I'll just make sure that that lightweight line is off the back as well. So we're coming in and creating that invisible layer. And we're going to work that all the way around and even to our opposite side. Coming in on that opposite side, lift the section up, right where my disconnect is, find the bending of the focal point and move longer than it. The blade of the razor has to point straight up. So there's very, very, very little hair that's being taken off, but it's enough to create support so that when we use our surface styling products, we have unbelievable amounts of independence and individualism, just like Indy should be. So let's start to see what we've got happening here. We start to see the line take shape. We can fall into it with a very strong, aggressive feel. We can fall into it the opposite way if we want. We can take it and we could build texture into it. In fact, rather than talking about it, let's see some real indie vibe.
The indie rock vibe makes way for free, expressive styling. Creativity is embraced and so inspires women to reveal their exposed, organic, or elegant mood. I'm Jackie Yoakum with Surface Hair, and this is the Indie Rock Collection. Indie Rock Exposed is all about accentuating and exposing undercut lines, layers, and the art of the haircut. Mindy's first style is going to be Indie Rock Exposed. We're going to work by smoothing the hair with BLISS Smoothing Cream. Contains shea butter mixed with a BASSU seed oil to create a nice, creamy, smooth blow dry, giving the hair control, shine, and slight volume. Work this through the hair, root to end. And we'll blow this nice and smooth. Bliss gave us some beautiful body, shine, and movement to the hair. But now I'd like to go in and make it more sleek with lots of shine. So I'm going to pick up my Shift Shine Wax, take it into my hand. It's an awesome blend of BASSU seed oil and castor oil. The BASSU seed oil helps the castor oil break down and soften and spread nicely through the hands. It also has a nice little bit of grip. The Shift Shine Wax makes the hair very moldable. And what I'm going to show you is a couple ideas. She could come in and have everything nice and sleek and straight back, really accenting and exposing that undercut line. Or for a softer, more glamorous feel, again, bringing this hair forwards, combing the hair in, and really lying down that bang. Movement and texture bring an organic look that allows hair to fall free and natural, bringing an earthy vibe to the Indie Rock Collection. Working with movement and texture for Mindy's hair, I'm going to come in with CRAVE. It's a styling paste. The clay will give me hold and texture and control while I'm blow drying. I'm going to work with the natural movement of Mindy's hair for an organic feel. Rub a little bit in through her undercut areas, and I'll be blow drying just with my fingertips. When finger tousling hair and letting it fall to its natural wave and curl patterns, really important never to run your fingers through the hair. I'm just coming in, setting my fingertips in, lightly scrunching, and letting the air and the haircut and the CRAVE styling paste do all the work for me. So you can see how much volume and control I had just with my fingertips and the CRAVE. So here I'm going to come in now to pump this up a little bit more. I'm going to come in with our Shift molding clay. Love this product because it is very flexible, lots of hold, and especially it's nice and matte. It works with guar gum, keeping the hair nice and flexible. So I'll just work this through my hands, making sure I have lots of friction in my hands so I can break down the product and help it spread. And then I'm going to come in and I'm just going to come into the root a little bit. Give me some hold there so I can just come in and place the hair. I'll be able to mold the hair to the left, creating more of a mohawk if I like, or have everything come forwards, soft and textured, weighted over top of the right eye, and my favorite, lately up and off the face. Everything scrunched softly, a couple tendrils falling over her ear here. The matte finish is very organic, allowing her soft waves to fall naturally for her. Bringing an elegant vibe to the indie rock collection, I'm going to come in and we're going to do a blowout Reflect styling gel. Reflect's going to give volume and control, protect the hair from our curling iron. A little bit of Reflect's given us tons of volume, shine, and set up the hair for our thermal set. Take my section, comb it nice and smooth. Very firm is what we're going to use for our thermal spray, supporting the hair through the heat, giving lots of shine, hold, and humidity resistance. Comb that hair nice and smooth. Come in with my iron, give that a twist. And I'll set the whole head in the direction I want the curls to fall. The curls are set, and now we're going to move in to creating some separation in them. Going in and using a little bit of BASSU oil on my fingertips so that I can rake these curls out with control, giving shine and softness to the hair. Once I have them separated, I'm going to come in and detail the hair with our Shift Shaping Wax. Shift Shaping Wax is designed with flaxseed fibers, creating lots of molding, shaping. The fibers make the hair very pliable, and they also give the hair a lot of shine. I'm just going to get you to bring your hair here. So what we're doing now is we're creating an elegant vibe to our indie rock collection.